everyone, this is Persephone and I'm making this video because it has been very requested. Actually, what's requested is what kind of man do you like to date? But I'm going to start negatively because I love negativity and say what kind of man I would never date. Since I get approached by people who we have nothing in common, we would never work together, but they fantasize that we would. So beforehand, I'm going to say I have no ill will or hatred towards any of the men exhibiting those characteristics. It doesn't matter if I disagree. At the end of the day, you do you and I'm going to do me, which means block you if you exhibit them and you think we're going to date. Okay. A lot of people are going to hate and I can't wait for it because I love making people who hate me more. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. Thing number one, type of person I would never date. Obviously, any kind of abuser, aka animal abuser, child abuser, like anyone who loves mind games, triangulation, hurting others on purpose, playing hot and cold, disappearing, ghosting, fuckboys, and even worse than that, ugly fuckboys. Because if you're going to be a fuckboy, at least you have to be at over 6 feet, handsome, with money, and a big dick. The worst type of fuckboy is loser, bitter, subhuman that no one wants, and he's going around hurting people to vent his sexual frustration. I had an encounter with someone like that recently on Lucky's Mouth of all places, that he insulted me and then he sent me private messages apologizing and said, just it's because I'm sexually frustrated and I want you, blah blah. Bye. Forever gone. Category number 2. Anyone who identifies in subhuman ways, using substances or copes or addictions and being proud of it. For example, stoner family. If you smoke or if you do drugs, we're not going to be friends. I have a very addictive personality. I don't want to be around drugs. I think that drugs, especially weed and all of that, make you look stupid. I have done a lot of research on the long-term negative aspects of drugs. We could start a big debate here, but I'm going to say that when it comes to my life and my preferences, I don't debate. I've seen the nasty side of addiction in my family as well. So if you do drugs and you glorify the culture and you're like, oh my God, I'm doing weed, I'm a stoner. I'm saying specifically weed because it disgusts me. Same thing with those subhumans describing, oh, I took a great trip and started talking about their experience of them having like induced psychosis. No. I'm going to include into that category the subhuman gamers. One of the main reasons my second marriage failed is because gaming, and it's because my husband would much rather worship a machine than be a man. And when that happens, eventually you don't want to be with a person. So if you are not a kid and you want to brag about your imaginary achievements in a fantasy world no one gives a shit about, I'm sorry, but I don't have time for you. I'm a person of substance, and I think that life starts when we unplug the internet. If I didn't need the internet to make money, I would never be online. Okay, internet is a tool. It shouldn't be your master, and you shouldn't be a slave to some stupid gay. And no one cares about it besides other stoners and other gamers. So what happens is that usually when those people approach you, they try to convert you and they start pressuring you to play games, they start pressuring you to do drugs, and I find that insufferable. Like, I work hard so that no one pressures me for anything. Category number 3. Because I'm going to, they put the addicts in one category. Anyone who nagged me. I will say it here as nicely as I can. If you have said even one insulting thing to me in the past, especially with intention, it's not the same as bad criticism. I have nothing against the person who said, Persephone, in that video, that week, I didn't like it. Or what you said, I didn't agree. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are using Pickup Artist 2001 tactics, that I wouldn't bite the bait when I was a kid with that. And they try to lower your self-esteem to bring you down, to make you susceptible into dating them. This is some kind of sick trauma bonding. I truly think that the people who are into those techniques are sick in the head. And there are people who started doubting me and saying, you're so vulnerable, you don't understand people, or, poor thing, you have been through a lot, or, well, I don't date short girls, I always date very tall girls, but I would make an exception for you. If you have said even one of those things to me, we are never, ever, ever going to be together, because I consider nagging a form of early abuse, and it means you're a subhuman, you have no way of communicating healthily, you are insecure, you have no way of controlling someone. I don't believe in controlling people, but if that's your thing, lowering the self-esteem so that you make sure they won't cheat or they won't leave is atrocious behavior. So this is something I'm really not forgiving about at all, and the person is dead to me if you have done it even once. Unfortunately, this is probably the most common category of man who contacts me that I want nothing to do with. People that we had a very bad start because I rejected them. They last start on me, they insulted me over and over, and after months or years they come back and they say, oh, water under the bridge, how are you? Like, dude, don't humiliate yourself like that. I'm not the only woman on the planet. Find someone that you didn't treat like shit. Another category, lazy bums, freeloaders, parasites, on welfare but entitled to run his mouth. You cannot be a man without having the ability to provide, and I don't mean it in a gold-digging way. I have no respect for a man who can't even pay his own bills. That's a child, that's not a man, and I'm not into children, okay? You have to grow the fuck up and being able to provide and being able to hold down a job. I'm not selective on the channel. You're going to find other female channels that they say the man needs to have a college degree, the man needs to make high-end 5 digits at least or 6 digits and stuff. No. For me, you know me, I fetishize schizophrenic Asians, I like basement dwellers. You have to be able to do the basics, which means a basic income enough to not end up homeless, not having to sell your kidneys, and so on. So when you approach me and you cannot even make ends meet and you are pretty much living at your mom's basement, I'm not interested in joining said basement, okay? I can pay for my own basement. Very connected to that is the man who is exceptionally stingy, aka Asian man. The number one reason that I'm on very bad terms with Asian men most of the time is the stinginess. That their mothers usually raise them looking like martyrs. Like, for example, Kim's mother will always wear pants with holes around the house. I do not understand that. I mean, my grandmother was also thrifty. If something had holes, she would usually convert it into cleaning rags until it could no longer be used, or use it like as a cloth for the cats to sleep on or something like that. She wouldn't go around wearing it. You can buy pants for fucking $5 if you are this poor. Yet she goes around with holes in her clothes, and if you say to someone, I want to spend, most Asian men don't think of the stereotype of Asian men working hard and having money. They do work hard, some of them they have money, some of them they don't want to spend anything on you if they can avoid it. I'm not into stingy men. I think that stinginess starts from feeling and expands into every area of life, and those men are usually problematic. Most of all, I'm not tolerant of men who are stingy with my own money, which is something that Kim does, that I would get paid from one of my multiple sources of income, and he would say, why would you buy this? Why would you buy that? Like that? You don't know how mad you can make me. I'm cutting off contact with you. I didn't live all of my life having my own money, and I've been working ever since I was pretty much a minor for some dude to come here and say, why this, why that? Another category is what I call fake manipulative men, which is, again, a huge category. I have enough IQ to know who is that. I can tell from the signs. Which is the guy that he says, oh, I have no problem with e-whoring. If anything, I'm turned on by it. And I like it so much. And you can do whatever you want. And then 1 month into the relationship, the guy starts saying, well, I expect you to quit for me and just marry me and raise my kids. Yeah, no. I'm not saying it in a feminazi way. If someone's path of life is that they want to be a stay-at-home parent and raise kids, despite of the gender, I'm always going to be saying, do what makes you happy. I didn't work so hard to throw away my brand for something that simply has a penis and a controlling attitude and wants me to quit to be with you. I'm always saying men who are into the e-girl culture like e-girls. So if you stop being an e-girl, he's going to lose interest in you, isolate you, and abuse you financially. To the women watching me, never quit your job for a guy unless the guy is rich enough to buy you your own business. Like if someone came to me and said, I'm going to buy you a gym, stop whoring, I would think about it. I would continue YouTube, but yeah, I could stop other more adult revenues. But just to quit, to be at home with no financial plan, like dude, I was born on a Tuesday, but not last Tuesday. This is about you and your dick insecurities. This is not about me. Another category is the man who thinks we're soulmates because he has watched my videos. You don't know a person simply from watching videos. You don't know a person from online. There are so many people who come into my life to discuss who I am, that me and him are going to sit down and he's going to talk me into dating him. That category is a lot of subs and a lot of fake subs, that I'm going to pay you a few $1,000s and then you're going to date me. You cannot pay me to be attracted to you. Femdom to a very big extent is a business. I'm not saying that I'm not attracted to the people in fandom. It depends. There are people that I found super attractive and I've made videos about them. Like the guy I mentioned in the past who was a white alcoholic writer. Like, I was so close to messing up with that guy, and I'm very proud of my professionalism. But for most people, it's just we have a fun interaction. So if you think you can pay affection and you can pay for affection, actually, I'm not into doing that. And there are so many people who again come up with business ideas and say, I can be your sugar daddy, I can be this, I can be that. If I ever get into sugaring, I'm going to let you know I don't shame people who do it. But until then, I'm not interested in meeting you to fuck you, I'm not interested in meeting you to marry you, I'm not interested in any of that. And when there are money involved, you can never be sure of the attraction, you know? I mean, I don't understand how so many people don't know that, or if they're genuinely desperate, that how do you know that I'm not with you just because of the money at the end of the day? And if you want a relationship with people online, how about you use that money to improve yourself and start your own brand, to approach them on an equal footing? Yet no one thinks like that. Everyone wants the shortcut of I'm going to pay you and buy time with you so I can talk you into dating me. You're not smart enough to talk me into dating you. I'm sorry. Harsh truth. Because if you were smart enough, you would immediately be able to see me for who I am in videos. I have all kinds of fucked up mind games in my videos. You can see who I am. I drop hints right in there all the time. Not in a toxic way, in what I like way. So if you, after watching all of that, you concluded that you can talk me into dating you, I'm sorry, it's not going to work out. Okay, so that's all for now. I hope I answered this question. I have a video list of qualities I want in a boyfriend. It's mostly a parody. I don't want a boyfriend currently. I'm focused on my career. So please, let's stop this, okay? And if you're a stoner or a gamer or some other butt-haired guy, I'm sorry, I don't care. Your feelings are not my problem, you know? Welcome to the adult world where no one gives a fuck about your feelings except you, maybe your mom, and if you're like a few other people who care. So I have every right to not like weed, I'm politically incorrect, I have every right to not like games, and it's not my job to change. It's your job to either suck it up and accept who I am, or watch someone else who says, oh, stoner family bro, and posts pictures of weed. Thank you for watching.